So environmental justice is rooted in equity, in a sense that your zip code should not determine, the quality of the environment around you. So we essentially believe that, particularly marginalized people fall victim to the negative effects of environmental injustice, which, whether it be poor infrastructure of the homes, lead in the service lines, lead in the homes, whether it be no access to quality park or green space within walking distance of their homes, whether it be access to clean and affordable water. So we want to make sure that everyone has access to those things, and environmental justice is essentially making sure that they're provided with those basic necessities.
I think it's important that leaders understand that this is kind of people's livelihoods. Injustices to the environment are usually inequitable in the way they're distributed. So if, let's say, environmental harm only happens in communities where marginalized people live, then the result of that is that those people in those communities think that these things should happen to them. That is the norm. It also creates more opportunity for things like blight, for things like a poor housing stock, which directly impacts the economy. Energy burden itself is the economic impact on a household, so how much the household has to spend on energy costs. And especially in current society where a lot of the energy options so far have not been as sustainable or renewable or affordable, it is so important that we have alternative options that, one, will allow the home to have better air quality, last longer, reduce the cost, but also be a reflection of the kind of community that we want in general. So the more connected houses are, the easier it is for city planning and the easier it is for community members to not have poor air and be overheated.
The reason that everybody should care about these issues is because, again, these communities are suffering and sometimes they don't even know. I don't think that just where you live should be contributing to your death or negative health impacts. I think that our homes are usually our safe places, our safe havens, and it's hard for that to be that if just drinking the water or breathing the air is contributing negatively to your health. The main thing they can do is consult the community members, the people that are living there from the very beginning, create buy-in at the beginning of any sort of ideas or proposals and things like that. Also consider these people and their health. One thing I like to think is like, would you want your family living here? Would you be okay living there? The other thing is to making sure that we're, again, always considering people from the very beginning throughout the entire process to actually record what's happening. So is it implementing air quality monitors? Is it doing soil testing and things like that so that you know exactly what you're dealing with and it's not just a theoretical thing anymore? And then allowing people to, again, know the answers, being transparent with people, also putting together incentives and things like that for people to be able to, who maybe can't afford to have their paint tested for lead, that you guys are making that accessible to people. Also, a part of environmental justice is giving people access to the decision-making factors. So making sure that people have that access and that they are, again, being considered throughout the entire process and giving people a voice, especially the people who are most affected and the people who are living there.